Driving around town, you may have noticed it. Local breweries and tap houses seem to be popping up overnight.
It's right here on the latest cover of Southern Oregon magazine. The words brewing boom are generating excitement among beer lovers and beer makers. Tonight, in a News 10 special report, the numbers don't lie. Southern Oregon is adding to an already flourishing beer scene. Whether it's right out of the tap, out of the cooler, or poured from a can, craft beer in Oregon is nothing new. But the Oregon Brewers Guild says the recent brewery boom in Southern Oregon is something to pay attention to.
I think Bend, Eugene, Southern Oregon, they're all going through a boom of new breweries opening up. 3 or 4 years ago, we had 100 breweries, and now we have 166, so we're adding 10 to 20 breweries every year.
Brian Butenschoen is the executive director of the Oregon Brewers Guild. Started in 1992, the nonprofit is designed to promote and protect Oregon's breweries. He's also in charge of making sure out-of-towners know where to find a good pint.
Oregon leads the nation in the percentage of dollars that are spent on craft beer. According
to the Oregon Brewers Guild, the Portland metro area has 66 breweries and tap houses. In and around Eugene, there are about 10. Central Oregon, that number is 18. And here in Southern Oregon, there are 15 breweries and tap houses, with 6 more in planning.
You just get more people who are passionate about wanting to do it, and that's why they get into the business. And a lot of people are starting making 30 gallons at a time, which is what's known as a nano brewery. And we have a place Apocalypse is essentially a nano brewery.
He's talking about this recent hotspot in the Rogue Valley, a tap house barely open 6 months and booming.
We've been doing all right. As word spreads, we see more new faces every day, and we have a club membership that's constantly growing, so things are going all right.
Brewer Nick Ellis is being a little modest. Apocalypse's growth has been faster than expected. Within a couple of months of being open, Nick and partner Dennis Poncia upgraded to a newer system, allowing them to make more beer and keep up with demand.
We opened the doors and we've been busy either brewing or serving or cleaning or getting ready to serve every single day. There hasn't really been a let up.
We produce as much beer as we can, as fast as we can, while still maintaining the quality we want to see in the beer. But a popular beer sometimes runs out.
Nick picked up beer making as a hobby a few years ago and got hooked.
I quickly went from the real basic homebrew kit that I had, stepping it up.
His wife Erin was all in, then Dennis and his wife Penny hopped on board.
We brewed a couple times together, and I guess he figured I wasn't a total idiot. I guess he figured that beforehand, otherwise he probably wouldn't come to my house more than once.
Then the light bulb, making beer for the masses. A tap room in an industrial area that looks more like your buddy's garage. A club membership, good beer, and Apocalypse was born.
Just the fact that the area had the population that it does made us think that it was receptive to more breweries.
It was a gamble, and it's still something I worry about every day. Anytime someone opens up a new business, it's very hard. All right, you want to flush the line, Dennis?
Hard work, yes, but these two say they're taking it day by day, beer by beer, and for now, enjoying the ride. Others are enjoying the profits.
I think a lot of these are almost like brewing sleeper cells or something. We had a pretty lively homebrew community in this area, and then for whatever reason, because of the popularity of beer and the renewed interest in craft breweries, we started seeing a lot of these people kind of stepping out on their own and choosing to create their own beer. It's been a neat, almost beer renaissance that we've experienced in the last probably 2 years.
Chris Dennett owns Beerworks in downtown Medford. As a beer monger, Dennett says people are getting excited about craft beer, and that attitude is spilling out around town.
Medford might be the last major metropolitan area in Oregon that hasn't really experienced this sort of beer boom. If you look at Portland and Bend as places who have really led the way, Corvallis is starting to come up, and so is Eugene as a strong beer producer. And this is kind of the Wild West down here. This is the untapped part of the state at this point that's really only had 2 or 3 or 4 in the past. So it's kind of neat to see it grow that way. Clearly the public supports it.
People are interested in supporting local handcrafted products that use ingredients that are sourced locally.
And they're willing to pay for it. Butenschoen says in 2009, the city of Bend started its Ale Trail, essentially a tour for beer fans. Research shows many visitors stopping in what's known as Beertown, USA, were going for one thing.
40% of the people that are coming to Bend say that the reason that they're going to Bend is to visit a brewery or to do the Ale Trail. When they did the metrics 2 years before that, it was 26%.
And he says it's time other cities with a growing beer scene like the one in Southern Oregon tap into the link between good craft beer and tourism. And Butenschoen says Oregon was the first state in the country to hold a beer week, the first to have an entire month. July, in fact, is Oregon Craft Beer Month. Chris Dennett is one of the organizers of Medford's Beer Week, which begins June 8th, and he says already the phone calls are coming in from local breweries wanting to help out and participate.
We continue our special series tomorrow night with a look at a local brewery expanding right here in Southern Oregon and hopefully across the country and maybe even around the globe. It's tomorrow night only on News 10 at 6 and 11. We'll be right back with more News 10 at 6.